Okay, the world God only knows. So the story for this show, this 2012-2013 show
I
made
was just hitting
by
right after that.
Mangalobe, the story is pretty good.
Yeah.
But it takes some time like to really get involved. At first, like it's like quirky, just like really a funny
Yeah.
show. But
Like
it's
rather
really good.
than the last one, which we totally just recorded definitely more
Shut the
than a day
fuck up.
ago.
We're professional.
Unlike the last one, is just a zombie. This one, the story is actually a lot more important. You get told the story straight off at the very beginning. The main character, Keima, who I'm just going to call Kami-sama because that's typically what he gets called anyway. So Kami-sama basically is playing a game like the absolute chat he is. And and he does his final like 10,000th gal he's claimed or
Keep in mind,
conquered.
2D gals, guys.
They're just as good, if not better. Okay,
No,
buddy.
it's important to distinguish that in the
It's
story.
he just conquers his 10,000th gal in a game. You know those dating visual novels. When he finishes doing that, he gets an email on his fucking like Game Boy or whatever the hell,
He gets
his
challenged
PSP, whatever.
by
And he's
basically
being like, you're a god, right? We've noticed you conquered a fuckload of people. We challenge you to conquer more. And here, have this. If you accept, do this. And he's like, of course, I am Kami-sama. I'll definitely do that. And so he presses accept, and then a fucking devil shows up. Mind you, when you hear devil, you typically think, oh great, it's gonna be like crazy, and
fucking
oh no, it's just a
demon.
girl. She's like just fresh out of school, or she's in
They get
school.
taught this whole course, and there's like the
Yeah.
whole idea of conquering girls is like a big deal to
So
get rid of their
apparently,
inner
like,
demons. Or soul.
yeah.
Bad
So
souls.
basically, they're like these prisoner demons who have gone free due to a certain event or something, and so they hide within the darkness of typically girls. A lot of things happen there. I'll explain later. But he's basically invited to. He's not even invited at this point. He's forced. Like they put a collar on him, and they say, "Yeah, so now you got to go conquer 3D girls." And he's like, "Well, this was I don't remember this part of the contract." They were like, "Well, you can conquer all girls, right? Get to it." And he says, "No, I'm done. I'm not gonna." Like they basically are like, "Just say," and he's like, "No." And they're like, well, if you don't do it, your head's going to be cut off clean, and I'm going to die with you.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, fuck, how do I stop it? And he's like, well, or she's like, well, conquer just a fuckload of girls, and eventually you can get it taken off. And he's like, all right. And as expected of Kami-sama, he is really good at it. The main point of the thing is obviously him, but also the heroines, whatever you want to fucking call
Sort
them.
of like No Game No Life, where you know he's gonna fucking do it, but it's the execution that matters a lot.
But unlike No Game No Life, there's no incest.
And it's a
Just get
different
that out.
game entirely. It's a
Yeah.
visual novel, not a chess master.
Yeah.
Like all these different games.
Not a weird chess game with psychology mixed into it or whatever. I'll actually tell you my favorite girl later on. But you get a lot of different girls. This anime or manga or whatever really cuts into like the not stereotypes, but the character arcs, the characters.
They definitely give you a
personality.
lot more time for each character than Zombie.
Like the librarian girl is very quiet. You get a Bisojo blonde lolly character or whatever, who's like, you know, very quote unquote noble and stuff like that. You get this.
She's a rich
You
girl.
get this.
She's high maintenance.
Yeah, you get this high maintenance rich girl, and you get an idol character
Supposedly
who
rich.
very high beat and very
Yeah.
up and happy and stuff, but also has her own issue. And all these girls have a small issue. They're not huge issues. They're common, girl issues. Like Shiori, she's very quiet. She's like, I just want to be with my books, and I don't want to be stressed out by all this talking that people want, and no one's listening to me. But blah blah blah. So Keima, or Kami-sama, goes and basically opens her up to the outside world, and basically he has to
She's
he has to get
basically a
them.
hermit when it comes to books, like how we're like weebs and we read a lot, or we watch a lot of stuff, or read a lot of manga. She's like that, but for like a whole library.
Just
She's
reading the
a
whole library.
lot of
She's like
it.
read every book.
When you do so much reading and you have like very little human interaction, yeah, of course she's not that good at speaking. So
But the cool part about this is those demons that hide in the girls' hearts. Whatever, when the girl feels like really bad or whatever, they cause some sort of reaction to the outside world. Like Sayori, I think the library kind of came alive and things happened. I don't quite remember.
she gets furious if you fuck with the book. Like
Oh
as
yeah,
soon-
she
she
hates
gets
you.
sick
Like
of it.
as I said, this very much has like the character is written very plainly but very well.
It's like the
and
demons.
I appreciate
The
that.
demons inside them sort of accentuate or exaggerate, like amplify their quirks. It makes
Yeah,
and that's sort of how you can tell.
yeah. And then another girl, Canon, she's an idol. Her whole thing is that she loves being up on the stage, but she recently left her band that she was with. I think it was like Citrus or something. And because she herself got very popular while they sort of stayed the past, and she's dealing with like the dread of being up on the stage alone and the uncertainty of being an idol and yada yada. And Kama manages to get her to make that step towards being a popular idol. But her thing that the demon causes is for her to basically go invisible because she's scared of being seen.
Yeah,
And
which is
this
ironic because
happens-
she's an idol and
Yeah.
supposed to be seen, but like it's sort of like a lot of idol characters where it's like they have like a lot of high expectations of them.
Yeah, and she's worried about being seen upon the stage while her friends from the band that she was in previously they're just nobodies at this point
Or
compared to
judging
her.
her, or
Yeah, and I think there was like some sort of conflict, like she thinks her previous bandmates are angry at her, or maybe they are, I don't remember. But it ends up very nice and sweet, and Kenon is actually my favorite of the girls of season 1. She was very much a sweetheart. You are definitely going to find one girl that you're like, damn, I really like this character. Another thing though was after they were finished being conquered, they lose their memories of the event. They have a vague feeling of loving someone and being loved by someone, but they don't know who or what. So that's a real crazy thing that happened. So even though Kama wooed Kenan, she doesn't know who he is. And that's actually very funny because okay, so basically to conquer these chicks, Kami-sama has to suit their needs, and he finds out through trial and error, really mostly, that he needs to do this for that to happen. So like with
and by
he's more out.
conquering, I think a kiss is required. So
Yeah, you have
that's a
to
big
kiss
part.
them, and they have to want to kiss you. You can't
that too.
just kiss them and bam, that's
like
it.
force, no sexual harassment.
You have to basically like weaken their will. As
It's kind of
creepy as that
fucked up
sounds.
when you think of it like
It's
real people, but
If you think of it strictly as conquering, then yeah, it's really fucked up. But if you think about it as wooing them over and easing out a demon, then it's much nicer. Not quite fucked. And as you were saying, Yuri Nikaido, holy shit, what a beautiful,
what a badass teacher.
I know, holy. She did not take any of his shit. Like, Kami-sama was a fucking A+ student. He's just an absolute goddamn
But
god.
she's in Megami Hin. She's kind of like, she's kind of like supportive.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
Isn't she known to be like one of the?
Yeah, she's like another person who captures people, I think.
Which also leads to the next Hakwa, which is also a demon. Which she's like.
She's Elucia's like classmate, and like she's basically the chief or something, but she's not actually good at capturing demons. Even though she pretended
like
to be.
brags and lies because she wants to look good in front of Elucia. So.
But she's a sweetie. She's a sweetheart.
She's not a bad person. It's just she doesn't want to. She wants to be a role model or like a model student, basically.
Because like Elucia was always considered to be kind of a doofus. sort
Yeah,
of like,
dumb.
not quite
She's kind of an
good at everything.
airhead. Yeah.
And so yeah, an airhead, and Hakwa, who's supposed to be like, the A plus student, is now all of a sudden like, oh yeah,
Perfect.
I've captured nobody, and Elusia has captured like 4 people.
I mean Chihiro.
Yeah. Okay, so Chihiro is the student that kind of not really bullies, but kind of picks on and teases Kami-sama. She's like a tomboy character. Kami-sama kind of just treats her as a mob character, and she doesn't like that. She doesn't even really know she likes him yet, but over time that happens, and he actually thinks she's been taken over by a demon.
Yeah.
Like there's because it's like, hey, someone around you has a demon inside. And he's like, aha, it must be Chihiro. But he was wrong, and
Oh
he
yeah.
actually ended up just playing with her heart. And then the moment he finds out there was no demon, he fucking dropped her harder than a goddamn
Yeah, it was kind of
brick.
harsh.
Like, oh my god. That's when he realized Kamisama is kind of a savage, and not in the good way.
Okay, when I
Like,
said there's a lot of characters in the show,
there's a fuck lot.
Megami
Oh
Hen
my god.
opens up and adds a lot more, and the crazy part is it's a lot more about gods and goddesses and all that shit. So we're not gonna talk
Yeah.
too much about that. We
So,
could be talking about characters all day. We'll just wrap it
oh
up
my
by
lord.
saying like,
Like 5 of the characters, I think it's 5 of the characters that Kamisama has conquered, they actually kept their memories, and in the place of a demon, a goddess now resides within them. In the end, Kamisama, I think, has to choose like one of the goddesses or something. It's been a while since I didn't watch Megami Hin. I actually read the manga, but I didn't get too far reading because life is a pancake, and
the character he gets with isn't like the end all be
it's
all.
it's
It's
not even.
sort of
Yeah.
open end in a way.
Well, they quite clearly like the two characters quite clearly get together.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Kamisama
But
and that character definitely get together, which I'm not going to spoil because everyone's probably already seen it. But for those who haven't, I don't want to just say like, oh yeah, Blink gets it. They can find it on their own if they want to look it up. Or
yeah, but yeah, with the art, dude, that's what drawed me in was Megami Hen's that cover art just is so dope. Like,
it's really good. Yeah, like it really ramps up things when things were already pretty good. But the art, I've been trying to segue into the art has been really good as well. Like for 2013, it's really good. Like it's not like HD super high quality like this, nowadays, but it's still really good. And
no, the art style has definitely aged pretty well overall. I would say if any of the characters didn't age as well, it would probably be Keima, just because he has like a little bit more of a smaller eyes and more of the edgy boy haircut in a way. Not edgy
no, not
boy,
the
but
edgy
like
boy, but like student council kind
yeah, yeah,
of.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
He's
yeah.
definitely dignified, and you can even tell because he has that little like
Little
I forgot what
scarf
it's called.
thingy.
Yeah, the little scarf thingy around,
Yeah, yeah.
which
But all
you
the
can
all
just
the
tell.
characters are like really recognizable. Well, most of them. I would say Chihiro and Ayumi are a little bit more like wishy-washy
They're
with some
harder
of it.
to,
Yeah.
yeah,
But a lot of like the best grills are like, goddamn, dude, the art style's so goddamn good. And the animation's pretty dope. Like I like when they pan around the main character. When they pan around Keima, and it's just like, look at this
yeah.
badass do a bunch of
Like,
shit.
look at this god.
Look at
And
this
speaking
dude.
speaking of that, the fucking OP, the music, the OP is
Yeah,
the
it's
best thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, there are only a couple others that
not
I'm just like,
not to that extent for
God.
me. I
Okay,
really
for
like
me,
it.
for me, for
Yeah,
me.
it's definitely a
Mind you, I haven't
classic
watched.
for its time. It's held up really well, and you'll still hear it,
There hasn't been
especially
a
amongst
like.
weebs.
I think the only other one that really like elicits like a response of "Holy shit, yes" is Angel Beats. But Angel Beats makes me want to cry. Like I listened to that and I was like, "Oh, sad boy hours." The world God only knows elicits such hype in me. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where the hype comes from, but goddamn, listening to that just hypes me up without fail. I can't really say too much more about like the sound quality is really good and the music is nice. It's not like distracting me or
But
anything. There's not like
it's not like the sound effects are like fucking like
Yeah.
really good.
Every-
There's some enemies out there with like really good sound design. Sounds themselves like opening doors and whatnot is one of those things you don't really pay attention to. But when you do pay attention to with certain shows, it's amazing. With this one, it's definitely serviceable. It's not like the really overused iconic sound effects that kind of sort of diminish a show because they're just like, well, that's royalty free for that.
Yeah, with the Wilhelm scream. But that one actually has the opposite effect, and
Wilhelm's
it's just like. But other thing about the sounds, like the voice actors, they did a really, really good job.
Portraying
Like pat themselves on
emotions.
the back.
Really
Yeah,
good.
like I could really get invested in the
I
character.
think I did tear up, especially during Shiori, because I'm a softie for her.
Yeah, you're a softie, but you don't cry from Angel Beats.
I
Yeah,
will
right,
protect
buddy.
her. I was speechless from Angel Beats. I couldn't cry. I was just like, what the
I
fuck?
know,
That's
I
so.
know.
I was just like, well, it's over. Oh my god. And enjoyment. So, dude, did I enjoy
my
the show?
gosh.
Fuck yes, I did, dude. It's definitely one
Yeah.
of the most enjoyable animes
I'll
of,
say
its-
like
of the year
9.5.
of those years. For me, it's an 8.5.
Solid 9.5.
But
for
that's
me.
because there's so much going on, and for me that hurts my head. I have
I think-
ADHD, so it's really kind of hard, genuinely kind of hard to keep on to that.
I'm very easily satisfied, but during those times I was starting to get really sick of like the harem stuff. But like
So, yeah.
this was actually one of the first anime I've ever watched. Like my first one was Rosario, and then I think this was like third or second thing I ever watched. Because of course back then you couldn't fucking stay away from the harem tag as much as you wanted to. You could not stay away, and oh my god.
I'm
dude.
not like bashing on classics though. Like there are
But-
really good stuff, but some things don't age as well, and some tropes don't age as well because, well, let's assume this is the anime that sort of started this. The main character that we have here sort of started Keima's character type, and let's assume we see Keima's character type multiple times over. Even though this is the original, it wouldn't be as exciting to see that character type now as it would back
Yeah.
then. But to go on to the memes, I have us a treat. Oh yeah, baby!
Yeah.
Fucking Austin
I just want to
Powers.
hear. I want to hear Kama just say, "Let's sag."
I would love it if Mike Myers or whatever the fuck his name was did the English dub.
Yeah,
That'd be
Mike
hilarious.
That would be
The
amazing.
English dub. Oh yeah, baby. When did he become British? I
Yeah,
don't know.
baby. Yeah. Fucking.
They look
God.
so much alike. Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, so much alike. Man, I'm heading out to buy some games after which you won't see me for 40 days.
That's. I actually think. I said that once to you when I was
Yeah.
younger, and I think you were confused.
No, I was just like, okay, bye. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, that was kind of characteristic of me. So. You guys
Yeah,
are just like,
exactly. I was
that's
like,
just,
yeah.
that's just
I remember
green
you saying
doing.
it too. Yeah, I remember you saying it. I was like, I think you went on a trip or something. I don't remember. But I just remember you being like, all right. And I was like, okay.
No, I was just getting some video games.
Yeah.
That was it.
What kind of human are you, intimidating a demon? You're letting a human intimidate you? What kind of demon are you? That was the
Not a very
sickest
good
burn
one.
in the entire fucking We aren't making any progress, so we should complain to the company that made this game. Look, we might need to patch that one.
Nutcracker.
And stick
Yeah, I
three-
remember
can
that.
stick
I
3
love
dicks in
this.
handheld and sing
I've
the
seen-
national anthem.
Funny enough, I see
Patriotism
this
like
one
that
every
could
so
be on.
often. I just see this fucking reaction every so often. I'm just like, wow.
Oh yeah, she's like the really
She's
nice
the teacher or
teacher,
something.
and she gets like her feely willy's hurt, but she's wholesome and trying to make
Yeah,
things
because
work.
she's trying to like, she knows that like Kame-sama is not really a part of the class, and he's just on his games, and she's like, hey.
She's
And,
like, yeah, you do really well in grades, but like, are you depressed, homie? And he's kind
Yeah.
of a dick to her in a way.
He's just like, I don't really care. I'm perfectly happy.
Zeus, CEO of gods, Hades, god of evil, Minerva, which is supposed to be like a really fucking like badass goddess, but she's over here
Yeah,
being
the
helpless.
goddess of wisdom.
Yeah, she's over here helpless. She's Chiori's the goddess inside her.
Oh yeah, because when Kami-sama like did that whole thing where he basically played around with her, that actually opened up a hole in her
Yeah,
heart.
because he fucking slammed books.
Like
dude.
that
He was harsh.
absolute- yeah, he was like, "Look, it was all just a prank to play back for you messing with me all this time," and she's like,
But yeah, there's that. and then that's where I like cut off because I like being abrupt.